So come to lie down on your back and make yourself comfortable. So have your feet resting on the floor about hip width apart. And get a sense that the soles of your feet rest into the ground. Feel your big toes and your little toes. Feel the weight in your heels and your toes. And if you have your arms by your sides, roll your palms towards the ceiling and take your arms as wide as they need to be for you to be comfortable. Feel the weight in your shoulders. Feel the weight of your ribs and your hips. And just settle into that feeling of the ground, the feeling of your breathing. No need to do anything. No need to be anywhere else. Rising and falling. And keeping this feeling of the rhythm of your breathing and the rest in the back of your body. Slowly rock your head from side to side. And it's easy to bring our movement habits, our breathing habits to our yoga practice. So slow that down, make it half the speed. And then make it smaller, make it half as big. Feel the way that the back of your head moves across the back of your mat. Feel the weight of your head. And then slow it down even more. So moving as slowly as you possibly can. And then let your head rest next time that it's in the center. Let your eyes relax. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Bring your attention back into the soles of your feet. Feel your feet resting into the mat. And press a little bit deeper into your feet and roll back into your waist. So you, without really moving your hips, without lifting your hips, you just roll the weight back and you feel the back of your waist beginning to press into the ground. And then slowly relax. And again, make that slower, more deliberate. So as you're breathing, you're just making this tiny rocking movement. And then let your hips just rest. Notice that feeling of letting go, the feeling of space. Lift your arms slowly up towards the ceiling. Keep feeling the back of your shoulders resting on the ground. And take your arms either out to the sides or overhead. Let them release. Let them go. So we're taking this movement a little further up the spine. So if you can imagine into the back of your body and imagine lifting one little bit of your spine at a time. So you press into your feet and you roll back into your waist, and then you start lifting one little bit at a time, but keeping your arms as heavy and as relaxed as they can possibly be. And then slowly, when you're ready, you sink your way down. And you keep sinking slowly, slowly through your spine. Down and down. And once you get down, you find the arch comes back in your waist and you let go of your thighs, your feet, your buttocks. And keep that flowing. So make it a slow, deliberate movement, just as though you are slowly picking up one tiny part of your spine at a time. And keep coming back to the feeling in your shoulders and your arms, being heavy and soft and relaxed. Notice if any tension creeps into your shoulders. Be interested in that happening. And then consciously let it go. Relax a little further. When you next come down and rest, just take a moment, stay there, stay still. Relax your thighs, your buttocks. Feel the weight of your arms and your shoulders. Let the ground support you when you get there. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Get a feeling of the back of your hips and the balance in the back of your hips. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. So you keep the feeling of your shoulder blades and your upper back really resting into the floor. It's as though you pour the weight of your arms into your shoulders. Let your shoulders rest down. And then keeping that feeling in your shoulders. So by letting your arms be heavy, not by pushing, let your knees go a little to one side. And they just go as far as is okay without affecting your shoulders. And then come back to the center. And let your knees sink to the other side. And again, let that move from side to side, really slowly, really mindfully, in your own time. And then pause with your knees in the center. Slowly bring your arms down to rest by your side. And bring your feet down to rest on the floor. Feel the weight of your feet. Feel the weight of your arms. Let your shoulders relax. So each movement is slow and conscious, and just taking your time. Keep your breath flowing comfortably. Stretch your right leg out along your mat and lift your left arm so that it goes either out to the side or a little overhead, somewhere comfortable where it can rest completely on the floor. Really relax your right leg. So your toes might roll out a little bit, that's okay. Keep the feeling of soft heaviness through your shoulders, through your chest. Sink down into your left foot. Keep your left knee going towards the ceiling and start to roll the weight over into your right hip and your right shoulder. Now your head might turn. Your right leg will probably turn, but keep your left knee up to the ceiling. And it's time to come back. Take your time to ease slowly back, as though you're putting 1 millimeter of your hip down to the ground at a time. And again, just let that flow, sinking down through your left foot. Your left knee stays up and your weight rolls onto your right hip, your right shoulder. Slowly moving back. Keep flowing like that. Seeing how smoothly you can move. How can you do this with less effort, with more ease? Okay, this one is the... So this time, as you sink your weight down, you let go. You feel the weight of your body, your hips, your foot and your leg. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the floor. Stretch your left leg out along your mat. Slowly switch your arms until your right arm is overhead and your left arm is down by your side. Follow your breathing. Get a sense of rest and softness before you even move. And keep that feeling. So you sink down into your right foot and the weight slides over, rolls into your left hip and your left shoulder. But your right knee stays up towards the ceiling. And then you unwind the movement slowly back. Keep flowing like that with your breathing, as smoothly, as comfortably as you can possibly move. And this one's the last one. So when you come down, just let go. And deliberately, mindfully bring your arm down and stretch your leg out. Take a moment when you get there to rest. Take that rest seriously. And then we're moving round onto all fours. So think about what's happening to the inside of your elbows. So we're calling these your elbow pits. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees with a little bit of space between them underneath your hips. And the inside of your elbow is turning a little bit, but it's at an angle. So if there was a light on the inside of your elbow, they would cross over. So they're not going all the way to the front. And feel the weight in your fingertips. Feel the weight sinking down into the heel of your hand. Keep the crown of your head in line with your spine. And then take your awareness to the outside of your left shoulder and the outside of your left hip. And in a smooth flowing movement, bring them closer together. You're actually moving into a side stretch. And then come back to the center. And then you bring your awareness into your right shoulder and the outside of your right hip. And you bring those closer together. So your spine's making a sideways movement. And again, really slowly, let that flow from side to side. And be conscious of where your gaze goes. It's easy to kind of check out of your vision, but feel where that goes. Slow and mindful. When you're all balanced again, just pause in the center. And then tuck your tailbone underneath, round your spine up. Let your gaze slide along your mat until it's going through between your feet. And then bring your gaze along the mat, all the way back between your hands and along just to the bottom of the wall opposite you. And let that movement flow once more, smoothly as you possibly can move. And then pause when you're in a neutral spine there. Notice your breathing. So you might stay with that smooth and flowing cat movement, or if you feel comfortable going upside down, you don't have any problems like high blood pressure, heart problems, glaucoma. If you've got those, please stay with cat. And we're going to go into down facing dog. So tuck your toes underneath behind you and feel the weight sink down through your hands, down through your feet. And we're going to aim to do it slowly without disturbing your breathing. So without just keep the breath flowing smoothly. Press into your hands, press into your feet, And slowly wind your way up, hips towards the ceiling. But don't stay. Keep your elbows wide, space between your shoulders and your ears, and then you bend your knees. And come down. Untuck your toes. And come forwards onto all fours. So this is the flowing part of this, either with cat or tuck your toes, and this really slow movement into down facing dog. This is the last one coming up into down facing dog. If you've been doing that, let your head stay relaxed. Keep everything as soft as you can, just working and using what you need. And then pause again when you get onto all fours. Okay, this time let your bottom sink back towards your heels. Release back. And then bring your weight forward slowly into your hands. Feel your hands getting heavier. Tailbone comes back out when you get onto all fours. And ease your way back. Next time you're on all fours, you can pause there for a moment. Keeping it slow, smooth, and mindful. You could carry on with that flowing cat, or we can take it a little bit deeper. Now, if you want to, you step your hands a hand's length in front. And this time, if it feels okay, you come forwards. And maybe your hips drop. Maybe your head looks up. And then you don't stay there. You come back. Bottom back towards your heel. And then make it slower. Make it smoother. So you bring your weight forwards. Maybe your hips sink down. Maybe your head lifts and looks out in front of you. And take your time to flow smoothly and slowly back. And then this time, for everyone, come all the way back either into pose of a child, so kneeling back with your head relaxing down somewhere comfortable. You can let your head rest on the floor or onto your hands, or roll onto your back and bring your knees into your chest if you know that kneeling isn't a helpful place for you to be. And just relax. Again, notice the space, your breathing, and letting go. Let it go. And then ease your way slowly, slowly up and up. And we're just doing one small sitting movement before it's time for our relaxation. So we've been doing lots of flowing movements that encourage you to slow down and change the rhythm of your breathing, but also the rhythm of your movements. So keeping that in mind for our next part. So this is a moving breathing practice. I'll talk you through the first one, but I'm going to be quiet for most of it. It's really simple for you to pick up. You bring your arms to rest down by your side. Let your shoulders relax. Feel your body breathing. When you inhale, bring your arms around the sides and up to shoulder height. When you exhale, bring your hands together at the center of your chest. Inhale, bring your fingertips towards the ceiling so you stretch your arms comfortably up. And as you exhale, take your arms wide and down to rest again by your side. I'll talk through once more. Inhale, arms to shoulder height. Exhale and bring your palms together. Inhale and float your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round and down. A few more in your own time. Last round. So when you next have your hands resting by your sides, just stay with the rhythm of your breathing for a little while longer.